What is going on YouTube? Hannah back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we will be looking at XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and the S&P 500. Specifically in today's episode, we will be covering where we left off yesterday in regards to the massive XRP bull run that we just saw and experienced as prices soared from, I believe, 23 cents all the way up to 35 or 36 cents, where we created quite a bit of profit on that leverage trade to the upside. It was very profitable, and hopefully you guys took advantage of that. Today's video, we will be covering whether or not that is still a possibility if XRP is headed higher, and then more importantly, we are going to be discussing whether or not this is prime time to be buying into Bitcoin, whether or not we still have the opportunity to be buying into Bitcoin, or if we missed out on the run. And yeah, we're going to go from there. So really, we're going to discuss whether or not this is a good opportunity and there is still time left to be buying into Bitcoin, or should we be expecting something else to happen? If you guys are curious or want to know whether or not you should be buying in or selling off, definitely make sure to watch the video to the end. Make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up as this does help support the YouTube algorithm. Follow me on Twitter at CryptoVOfficial. This way, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can DM me over there. Otherwise, let's jump right into today's episode. Alright guys, before we jump into today's video, I want to give a huge shout out to ScalpX for sponsoring today's episode. For those that don't know, ScalpX is a cryptocurrency derivative exchange, and they have some pretty cool unique features. They offer low fees such as 0.03% maker fee and a 0% taker fee. They have a very fast matching engine with no overloads or slippage. And they also have zero funding rate of 99% of the time. Unlike other exchanges, you may have to pay up to 0.1% every 8 hours for funding a long position, also called an overnight fee. They also offer comfortable and fast UI with automated trading robots. Basically, you just pick a strategy and go. They have their SXE token, very hard to pronounce, very fast. Basically, they offer staking, so you can stake your SXE token and receive a guaranteed reward. They have a loot box as well, so each box gives you a chance to win up to $100 USDT or Tether, 100 in Tether. Lastly, they offer a referral link where you can earn money on each active user. You and your referee will receive 25 USDT when he deposits $250 in USDT. Referees get also a 20% fee discount. I've also been testing out the staking feature as well, so I just wanted to show you guys how it's been working for me, how things run, which you can see right now on the screen, the amount I've deposited and the amount I've been able to stake over the past couple of days. It really hasn't been long, but you've also been able to boost it as well, which is pretty cool. So I did actually boost it about 50% while we are waiting. So otherwise, lastly, their SXE token broke major resistance of $1 price because of the new staking function. Nobody wants to sell the SXE token because they believe the price is going to continue to go up. Obviously, their targets are $3 and then hopefully $10, which we'll just see if it proves itself over time. And then, as you guys know, ScalpX buys tokens, or hopefully you know, ScalpX buys tokens in accordance to previously derived commissions. 50% of all commissions will be spent for buying tokens on the exchange. All purchase tokens will be burned. They already did it last month, which I'll link in the description down below. Otherwise, once again, huge shout out to ScalpX for sponsoring today's video. Otherwise, let's jump right into the technical analysis. All right, guys, huge shout out to everybody on the channel. We're about to break 25,000 subscribers. This is huge, probably by the end of today. But more importantly, I want to discuss and continue discussing the XRP Ripple price that is exploding, which is insane, as we're actually settled at 31 cents. But we actually managed to break up from about a price of 22 cents all the way up to 36 cents in just a day, which is pretty insane if you ask me. The massive surge in price really set us up, for some pretty good profits. But a lot of people are asking me whether or not they should be buying in more, selling off, things of that nature. Honestly, in short, I do believe that XRP is going to be heading up higher in the near future, but for right now, I would agree that it is a smart move to be taking your profits in consideration that there is a good chance we could now correct lower or slowly consolidate consolidate sideways. This is definitely a tricky market to be buying into, especially XRP, when a lot of these other cryptocurrencies are merely so much more overvalued and so much more volatile that we could be making profit off of them over XRP right now. As you can see on the 4-hour, XRP did manage to break above its moving average, which is great, but it's slowly consolidating down, getting back from overbought to a more neutral area in its relative strength indicators, and we are just trading out sideways. So I do believe in the next couple of days, we should be able to gauge whether or not XRP is going to be headed higher or whether or not it's going to be headed lower. But before we dive into that, I do want to discuss Bitcoin, as I believe Bitcoin is going to be more of the focus for today, as it does show some very crazy things to discuss over XRP. XRP had its run yesterday. Now it's time to move on. Still keep it on the back burner, as I do think it is very important to be able to make money off of that, and it is still very profitable. But right now, I want to discuss Bitcoin's movements because I think it is very vital. Now, before we look at Bitcoin, I just want to scroll through these other cryptocurrencies. We can see there's huge uncertainty right now within Ethereum at its top right now, all the way up near all-time highs for 2020. We then see Bitcoin up very high as well. We see Litecoin very high up as well. So I want to continue to discuss very interesting patterns. So somebody posted this just a couple of days ago. This is the 4-hour chart for Litecoin to US dollar. You can see kind of the stepping stone staircase that it's forming and the fact that we did hit resistance and correct lower. You can kind of see where that was. This was yesterday's movement, and this is kind of exactly what we saw just a couple of days ago. So notice there is some sort of ascending channel that is forming on this coin, and it's very similar to Bitcoin. I do believe that there's some very interesting trends that we do have to discuss moving forward within these bigger cryptocurrencies, especially Bitcoin. Now, I just want to clear things up because this might look a little confusing to some, so I'm just going to remove some things to make this just that much easier to read and understand. You can see right now what it is that's forming on this coin. You can see there is some sort of bigger, ascending fractal that's forming on the coin, and it's heading us up higher and higher and higher. As we hit resistance, we end up consolidating either sideways and then breach to a higher level, or we kind of just trend on that and then head lower. Ultimately, we're retesting that currently as we speak. So we may be able to experience some sort of small correction to the downside, small consolidation, or we may just continue to follow through and head up higher. But the main question that I'm getting asked all the time is it still time to be buying in? Is there still potential? Is there still a good opportunity to be buying in? And that's really what I want to discuss with you guys today. I really want you guys to act without emotion and consider what you're really asking right now. So I have a few things just to reference as we move forward in the video. You can see this is the Wall Street cheat sheet, the psychology of a market cycle, the feelings appearing as the market fluctuates. As you guys can see, this is pretty much where we are. There's a good chance we might right now be between thrill and euphoria. It's very hard to gauge exactly where we are in the market, but as I know right now, there's a ton of people that are reaching out to me. I haven't had this in the 4 years I've been in cryptocurrency. I had it back in 2017, and I'm having it again now. And that's what I kind of base my knowledge off of. I base my experience off of when people ask and how the market reacts to certain movements. As we know, there is a huge surge in cryptocurrency and a huge surge in Bitcoin and technical analysis and things like that. I've seen it on the channel and I've seen it in person. I've had probably over a dozen messages, emails, DMs just yesterday asking me if there's still opportunity to be buying into Bitcoin. And that, is a great question, but it definitely makes you think, why didn't you ask the past 3 years in cryptocurrency when we were back here? A recovery is still possible. Optimism, this rally is real. And the opportunities that we're going to be heading higher. Back when Bitcoin was $7,000 just a couple of months ago, $10,000 just a couple of months ago, we're now at 40K. You could have quadrupled your money. People are asking now because they have this fear of missing out. They want to be buying in. Consider this. How much money could you possibly be putting into Bitcoin? Let's say you put in $1,000. You think that's a lot. You're putting it in at a $40,000 price. If we went up to $45,000, you're only making about $100 to $200 on your investment. That's nothing. Granted, if we fall, which there's a very good chance we will do very soon, you're going to lose quite a bit of money. Your 1,000 might turn into about $200 in literally 2 or 3 days. And there's a good chance you will be afraid to pull your money out, granted that we just need to cool off for the next rally, as you can see here. So consider this. This is pretty much where we are right now, guys. We're in between thrill and euphoria, and there is a very good chance we are going to be dropping very soon as anxiety, denial, and panic starts to take over the market and we correct lower. The other thing I wanted to show you guys, which I feel like not a lot of people really notice or consider, is the fact that Bitcoin does crash. And it crashes about every other year. And that's something people just, totally disregard or think about as prices decide to shoot up. They're so emotionally attached to see the prices shooting up that they think they're missing out and have to be buying in. Consider that there is more risk buying into the market now than there was a couple of months ago. When Bitcoin's $3,000, there's not nearly as much risk as it is when it's $40,000. There's not as much risk when it was $10,000 compared to $45,000. So consider this when you ask to buy into the market. Is it worth buying in now? When most people are just going to leave their money in and forget about it, come back in a few months and see it all the way down at the bottom. Now take a look at this. This is visualizing all horrific Bitcoin crashes. 2012, $7 to $3, a 50% drop. This happened twice, 57% drop in 2012. 2013, we had a 35% drop, also a 83%, a 50%, and an 87% drop. 2017, we had multiple ones as well. To break this down even further, from June to November of 2011, we shot up as high as $29 to as low as $2. In 94 days, this happened, and it went down 93%. Notice in 2012, we had a 16 to 7% drop, or $16 to $7 drop, which was a 56% low, which lasted about 3 days. 2013, $259 and $68, lasted 3 days, dropped to 73% in 3 days. 2013 to 15, $1,100 to $177. This lasted 411 days and brought us down 84%. The same thing happened just a couple of years ago, from 2017 to 2018, with our all-time high being around $20,000. We fell to as low as $3,600. This lasted a year, guys, and dropped the price 81%. That means your $1,000 would be $200 if you put into the market now. And I honestly anticipate that when we do correct, it's going to be seeing similar reasons like this. On average, this is probably about 75% on a drop each time. So there's a very, very, very high chance that when Bitcoin does decide to blow, it is going to correct much quicker. And you guys will be missing out and losing quite a bit of money if you invest a lot of money in right now. So is it prime time to be buying into this market? I disregard. I don't think it's a good time. I believe that we are going to be, correcting fairly low. I do believe you guys can still be shorting, buying in long, leverage trading, as I am doing so, because that's get in and get out. That takes a couple of days, and we can create stop losses, liquidating, things of that nature, which will prevent us from losing everything we own. And that's why, using Bityard to buy in long, sell short, create stop losses is a good idea. But in regards to just putting money into Bitcoin on Coinbase and holding in for a long time, it's just not a smart investment, especially with all this FOMO right now. Anticipate a short. There are still huge opportunities to make money on the market with the price this high, and that is shorting the coin when it does decide to dip. So that's pretty much all I wanted to discuss in today's video. I know it was less of the technical analysis side. We'll do that in tomorrow's episode, and more on just getting a general understanding of what's going on. But that's what we'll refer to in tomorrow's episode. S&P 500 looks great. We had a beautiful double bottom, and now we're exploding to new all-time highs again. So the market's doing really well. Otherwise, guys, that's pretty much going to wrap up today's video. Definitely, huge shout out to ScalpX for sponsoring today's episode. And I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace.